Hello there, my beautiful Gemini signs. This is Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is brought to you by the song that I meditated to. What's called Oscar Winning Tears by Ray. This video is not sponsored by anything. It's just when I tap into your energy here, Gemini, I use my form of meditation, which is listening to music. It's just something I've always done. I've had like a very I don't know, like a good ear for pitch, but I've also like music just never leaves my life. Like I always love it, like everywhere in the background. Like I always have to have usually something playing. And when I was tapping into your energy, the Oscar Winning Tears song popped up, and I love that song. I love the artist. And I do feel like that has a lot to do with what's happening for you. So maybe some of you are leaving a betrayer or a deceiver who's really good at like alligator tears. And I do feel like you're shifting out of some sort of toxic mindset because the tarot energy tells me you're really moving forward. And then I have a lot of confirmations from the oracle cards that I pulled as I meditated to your energy as well here, Gemini. So without further ado, I'm going to tap right in. The current vibe I have for you is Four of Cups. This is a very much so a card of like emotional apathy. So it's like you're very like meh, unimpressed when it comes to love. Now the challenge here though is the devil energy. So there's something maybe tied to your ego when it comes to love, or like it could almost be like even like an ego boost when it comes to like dating or something. Sometimes when we are trying to distract ourselves from pain or just distract ourselves in general from anything we don't want to do, we might lean into habits that are not serving us. And it's stuff we know, like, everybody, I don't want to say everybody, sometimes people doom scroll on their phone, or they watch too many YouTube videos, or, maybe they're watching something on television that's not very high vibrational energy, like, like the Keeping Up with the People shows and like the housewife shows. Those are very like low frequency energies because it's all about conflict and chaos and turmoil and negativity basically. So when you are in a state of apathy, it's best to not lean into these negative energies, or like this, even if it's binge eating or like eating junk food that you're not supposed to, but it kind of gives you a little bit of a dopamine rush because you're having that instant gratification through your brain because of the sugar. It's best not to lean into those things, even though it's really hard to do. Like, I'm guilty of it too. Like, we're all human. We all do it. But sometimes the best thing you can do is watch what you're absorbing into your body. And maybe you need some like uplifting music, or maybe you need some exercise, maybe you need some fresh air, or go outside, put your feet in the ground if you can, weather appropriately, obviously. But I do feel like the foundation of everything that's happening for you, everything that's shifting, what's causing this, is the heartbreak. So Three of Swords can be a card of betrayal, deceit, loss, definitely heartbreak on a major level. Maybe you really trusted someone and they just like completely pulled the wool over your eyes. And when that happens, it can just be very, very challenging. But I do feel like you are moving forward and making some positive progress because you have the Six of Swords in your past energy. This is a card of moving forward out of choppy seas into calmer waters. This is basically like ending some sort of toxic relationship. Now, whether that was by your choice or their choice is kind of irrelevant. Typically when somebody ends a toxic relationship, it's usually better if the person, well, I don't even want to say that. Never mind. Scratch that. It doesn't really matter who ends it as long as it ends, because that's what's important here. But in your subconscious energy, you have the Fool. Maybe you feel like a fool. This isn't meant to be like a literal thing, but the Fool is usually a symbol of a new journey, a new path, a new chapter. But sometimes we do feel like fools in relationships. And below that, I'm drawn to the Three of Pentacles. So whenever I have a 3 in a love reading, it usually means there's some sort of third party involved. So maybe you did feel like a fool because someone was lying to you, or made you a part of a third party that you never wanted to be a part of, or vice versa. So take that message how it resonates. But I will say, Gemini, in your current energy, you have the Queen of Wands. This is a happy, independent, fiery, single energy, which is a very positive card to have. This is like really tapping into your feminine energy, which I love to see because this is like divine goddess energy as well. And then in your near future, you also have the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. So spirit and your guides, they're really guiding you into being in your masculine energy. And, you know, everyone has feminine and masculine energy. So it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl watching this video because we all have both. This, though, is like really putting on the big boy pants and getting stuff done. This is really taking charge of your life and not waiting for someone else to do it. It's like no one's going to do it for you. You have to really step up to the plate here and take control. Now, the basis of this and what's in your control here is the world. So this is actually like divinely guided. There's not really much that's in your control at this point to a certain level. But this is all predestined and pre-fated, basically. Sometimes we can change fate a little bit, but it's free will is kind of a fickle thing. So a lot of the times we are guided to certain parts of our life for specific purposes so we can learn a specific lesson. And sometimes we can't always see what that lesson was until way later, or maybe even never. At the end of our lives, we usually have some sort of life review, and then we can, see maybe where we misstepped or could have chosen differently, and then our souls learn and grow in the next cycle. So, it's not. If we don't learn the lesson, we're kind of, I don't want to say doomed to repeat it, but we're bound to repeat it. And sometimes that's just slow going. Now, people see you as the King of Pentacles, so maybe they see you as like slow and steady to win a race. But I do feel like whatever it is, you're going to be victorious here, because in your hopes and fears section, you have something about communication that you're wanting to hear from someone, or maybe expecting some closure, and there's some victory here. And it doesn't have to be like you're getting closure from the person, but maybe it's like something you hear from through the grapevine of like that person they cheated on you with went and cheated on them, because that's typically how that works. So it's like if you were with someone who cheated on them and they knew about the partner, then that person typically goes off and cheats on them too. And it's this perpetual cycle because they think it's okay. So it's about their morals and ethics and values, and you can't control someone else's morals and ethics and values. All you can do is control your own. And in your potential outcome, that's exactly what you're doing here. So this is a great, great positive outcome to me, Gemini, because given the circumstance and situation, I feel like you're really being very discerning and cautious about who you are expending not only your time and your energy to, but like who you are choosing to share your life with. And that is huge. Like, kudos to you. Like, I give you a hug. But this is about you choosing yourself first. Sorry, I had like a cough throat thing right there. But your throat chakra might be significant. So maybe standing up for yourself is causing your like voice to shake or something like that. But I do feel like it's going to be something you have to practice doing. And sometimes that's tough when we haven't really ever stood up for ourselves before, or when we even haven't had anyone else stand up for us before. So that's what I have for you, Gemini, when it comes to the tarot. If you're interested in hearing the oracle cards, then stay tuned for the rest of those. But if you feel guided, make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. I can't even talk. And then if you feel guided, you can also book a one-on-one coaching session with me on my website. The link is in the description box below, or you can book a personalized tarot reading where I go in a layer deeper on your energy. Now, the lesson you have right now for the power of love, like the love lesson you should be kind of focusing on, is vision. So no matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving and just universe. I will say, sometimes it is really hard to see a loving and just universe when we don't get to witness karma. That is frustrating beyond anything to me, especially because I'm a Sagittarius and I'm very much a truth seeker, a centaur. Like, we really, Sagittarian people really, most of them pride themselves on the truth and have no filter and things like that. But, Gemini is opposite on the charts. But I do feel like you Geminis still value truth, because your element is swords and air. Now, the card that I had for you for archetype was the sword. So let the truth be your sword and your shield, and I feel you're good. You're going to be solid. So don't let anyone else sway your perspective, because what happened to you is what happened to you. Now, the next card I have is the Observer. So you're observing your thoughts, I think, instead of letting them consume you. That's number 49. And then you have My Future is Full of Light. And then you have the throat chakra again. And I have like itchy throat right now. That is workaholic. So maybe you're really throwing yourself into your passion projects. That can also be what the Queen of Wands is about. It's like pursuing your passion, something that's igniting your fire again. That could be painting, having plants, I don't know, taking care of cats or something, because there's a cat in that card. But like something you're doing to really inspire you and transmute and alchemize the pain that maybe you are still holding on to. Now, the third eye intuition advice card I have for you is Harness. It says, work with your intuition and reason together. See if you can bridge your gut instinct with your intuitive thoughts. And is one weighing too heavily? And what will you achieve? Will you achieve what you want through a balanced approach? So I feel like this is like combining your 3D and your 5D. So it's taking all of the spiritual knowledge and wisdom you have and putting it into something tangible in the 5D that's really going to benefit you. And that's going to hopefully bring you some financial stability in the near future, which could be what the Queen of Pentacles symbolizes here as well. All right, and then the last card I have is the Bear. And for whatever reason, I was just thinking of like, what are you going to choose, the man or the bear? But I feel like you are the bear. So you have to be a lot of things because you're such a multifaceted, interdimensional being. You have to be the bear sometimes. You have to be the man sometimes. You have to be the female sometimes. It's just this ebb and flow, which is the balance of the yin and the yang. And once you can master your feminine energy and your masculine energy, that's when you become sort of an earth angel, and you can usually tap into your supernatural abilities. And I see supernatural like very lightly because they're not actually supernatural. We all have abilities within us. It's just a matter of if we can unlock the puzzle that is us to access those gifts and abilities. And that can be done through trauma healing, shadow work, somatic therapy, and then a lot of chakra healing, usually through Reiki or there's a lot of different modalities for that. But I do feel like with this bear card, you are making a choice. It says, be sensitive to where you are at and reflect on where you would most need healing. So I feel like you're doing that, and you're being very honest and forthcoming, not only with yourself, but with the people in your energy. And that is going to be a great, great outcome for you. And then I just noticed this was right below the sword card. This is the castle. Whenever I see this card, I think of Teresa of Avila. She was a Spanish nun, I believe, that went through her dark night of the soul in the 1400s or 1600s. I can't remember exactly. I've read too many books. But that's a great book to go read about, because it's basically she taps into this castle, and it's all of these different facets of herself that she never truly saw until she went through her ego death. And that is probably what's happening for you. So when you go through an ego death, or a dark night of the soul, or when you go through some really traumatic experience and it shifts you and completely upends your whole expectation of reality and everything you thought you were, it can cause a lot of things to happen. And I do feel like that book might be helpful to you. So you might want to check that out. But that's what I have for you, Gemini. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time.